If you have not heard yet, reality television icon Donald Trump has named his son-in-law's father to be ambassador to France. Jared Kushner's dad, Charles Kushner, is a convicted felon, and it's quite the story if you haven't heard. Jared Kushner comes from a very wealthy family. He married Ivanka Trump, and in 2005, Jared's father, Charles, was convicted of illegal campaign contributions, tax evasion, and witness tampering after hiring an escort to seduce his brother-in-law, arranging to record an intimate encounter between the lady of the night and his brother-in-law, and then sending the tape to his sister. He was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment, which he served in the federal prison camp Montgomery. As a convicted felon, Charles Kushner was disbarred in 3 states. He, in addition to working in real estate, was also an attorney. The case was prosecuted by Chris Christie, who said Kushner committed one of the most loathsome, disgusting crimes he ever prosecuted. Then, Charles Kushner, many years later, received a pardon issued by his son's father-in-law, Donald Trump. Oh, wait, sorry. This is about Joe Biden and his son, Hunter Biden. As I first told you in a video a little bit ago, it was reported that Joe Biden was going to pardon his son Hunter on his gun and tax charges. Well, now the president has confirmed that and released a really interesting statement. Let's get into it. Juicy Joe, Joe says, quote, "Today I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. Without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser, people are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form." Okay, that sounds sensible. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. That seems sensible too. The charges in his cases come about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then, a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out because he is my son, and that is wrong. You're right, and I agree. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me. And there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. That's true. With Donald Trump getting into office, they're going to come after him. They're going to come after him. And they're going to come after him with new charges too. Joe has more to say. For my entire career, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process and it led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. I do. As I said in my previous video, I would have thought he was a bad dad if he didn't pardon his son. I would have done the exact same thing. Thoughts on this statement? Thoughts on his allegations? Thoughts on Donald Trump naming an ex-con to be ambassador to France? Well, I mean, hello. A convicted felon is going to be president, so might as well be ambassador to France. Thoughts on everything? Let me know in the comments section.